Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Lose the Weight Wednesdays. Thank you for joining me today. As my intention for using this medium, Facebook Live, is to create an interactive dialogue about my first book entitled Weight Loss Equals Weight Loss, an Inside Out Approach. You know, my intention for writing this book was to bring awareness to how the condition of waiting has a direct impact on our emotional, physical, and mental bodies. You know, that the word waiting, whenever you're waiting in any certain area of your life, the book demonstrates how it has a physical density in your emotional body and in your mental body, and the emotions that are wrapped around waiting has a density to it. So on this show, in my efforts to, one, have this be an interactive dialogue such that, you know, we are taking responsibility and ownership for our emotional body and our mental body, and then metaphysically it will show up. If you lose the weight in those emotions, you will lose weight in your physical form. So on Lose the Weight Wednesdays, I enjoy being here every morning just to share with you what comes up for me as I am losing the weight in my own personal life. So I take a few excerpts from the book and answer any of your questions and your comments. And let me tell you, I certainly appreciate all of your comments and all of the feedback that you guys have been sharing with me. It is greatly appreciated. But for those of you that haven't already purchased your book, again, this looks a little, there we go. You can always purchase your book now. It's an ebook, so you can go online and go to Amazon.com and type in weight loss, that's W-A-I-T, loss, and order your copy. It's only $4.99. It's a great read, it's an easy read, and it's something that's beneficial for you. And not only for yourself, but I just want to invite you to share this with you know, some of your friends, because you don't know what somebody else is going through. You know, we see the physical form of people. We have been socially conditioned to pretend like everything is going well. But you never know what's going on in somebody's emotional body and in their mental body. And if it's not healthy, then they're going to experience some type of physical dis-ease. And it starts off with emotional dis-ease and then mental dis-ease, and that actually manifests in physical form in the body as physical dis-ease. So I just want to encourage you to see beyond yourself today and think about the people that you're in community with. All right, so why is this conversation so important? You know, today I'm going to do it a little bit differently because I feel like I'm going to share my personal experience with losing the weight, like weight loss in my own personal life. And I'll specifically talk about what happens to me 24 to 48 hours before preparing the talk for the show, or, you know, just to be a contribution to humanity. One of the things that before I even wrote this book, I had to lose the weight myself. I had to lose the weight emotionally around what I felt like was my call. When I heard the inner voice say, April, you are to write this book. And then when I said yes to it, when I said, you know what, I'm not going to wait for my physical conditions to look a certain way. I'm not going to wait for the right timing or the right, for my resources to be in place for me to heed to my personal calling. There was a Greek philosopher that my mother used to, I wouldn't say force me, but she used to have it on around in the house, and I used to pay attention to it. And his name was, oh my God, Joseph Campbell. And so Joseph Campbell was a Greek philosopher, and one of the things that I took away from him is that there is a Greek mythology method to reach your highest potential. And what he called this method was following your bliss. And so a couple of years ago, I took on for my own personal life, following my bliss. I knew my purpose. I've written a book before. I know, why I'm here on the planet. I know my gift. And I was looking for vehicles to have my gift be a contribution to humanity. And this is when I heard the first one, as you guys know, if you haven't gotten that one's available on Amazon as well. Observe the Mask, an invitation to unveil the real you. And it's about the duality of being, how your spirit and constantly unfolding in the physical identity, in physical form, and being defined by your mask. It's an interesting read. It's a little bit deeper than this book, but I want to specifically stay focused on this one. So on my personal experience of losing the weight, about 24 hours to 48 hours before preparing this talk, there's a physical condition that happens inside my body. And I couldn't, this is the 5th time that I've been on air and been on Facebook Live. And every Monday, and sometimes it happens like 24 hours, like on Tuesday, there's this emotional disruption in what I call the emotional seat in the book. And the emotional seat is the area between, let's say, like right underneath the breast and following down the torso, in front of the torso, and like right below the navel. So I have this huge surge of energy like going through my body, and it's almost like I just feel like I need to run like endlessly, like I could run the marathon and have no training. That's the amount of energy that's going through my body. So I experienced that adrenaline, and then I experienced this tumultuousness in my stomach, and it just feels like, like I'm pregnant, kind of, sort of. I've been pregnant twice, and for women, if you can identify that time when you're about to deliver the baby and your stomach begins to contract and the muscles begin to get tight and they release themselves and they get tight again, that's the experience that I experienced like 24 to 48 hours before the show. And so I just want you to know that lose the weight, when you decide or when you choose to lose the weight, it's a metaphor for transformation. And when I talk about transformation, I'm talking about the prefix on trans, which is above and beyond formation. So I believe, and those of you that have followed me and are continuing to follow me know that I ascribe to that we are much greater than who we know ourselves to be in our physical form. I believe we are spiritual beings housed in this physical earth suit, and that for us to be legal as spiritual beings on this planet, we must have some type of physical form to express ourselves as the creator and its own creation. So when I talk about lose the weight in the book, I'm using the lens of weight. What are you waiting for in any area of your life, such that you can actually experience yourself as the creator and begin to lose the weight for bringing your potential, for bringing your purpose, for following your own bliss in your own personal life. So whether you're choosing to lose the weight in the area of weight in physical form, or in the area of relationship or money or your life purpose, or starting your own business or your own personal fulfillment, you'll experience this transformation or this metamorphosis that I too am experiencing right here before your eyes. So my hope is, as I share my own process of transformation and morph right here before your eyes, not only in my physical form, but I will be sharing the conditions that begin to change as a result of me losing the weight in my own personal life. I hope that as I share my own transformation, and again, morph right here before your eyes, that it will encourage and inspire you to do the same in your own life. And you do it in your own life for yourself and for us. Because I truly believe when you move beyond your physical condition or your own formation, it impacts the others that are around you. So when you transformation is available to your community or the groups that you associate with. So for me, that is a part of my purpose, which is as I follow my divine calling, or like I've shared with you before, following my own bliss and living on purpose every day, you too get impacted. This Facebook Live series has gone all over the world, and I too have to expand myself into the realization, good morning, the realization of the message having an impact on humanity, which is fulfilling my purpose. So again, on this journey of losing the weight from the inside out, there are challenges and triumphs on the journey. And again, this process is a metamorphosis. So on the past series, you've heard me talk about trusting the process. Now that's a choice that you make. And when you trust the process, the process is, inside of it is something called the metamorphosis. And just to kind of explain my experience and try to integrate the process of metamorphosis with maybe an analogy, what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about, and really quickly, talk a little bit about the caterpillar. And so most of you know that a caterpillar, is born as a caterpillar, and it has its little feet, and it has its eyes, and it has its little chompers and stuff to eat away at the leaf. And it actually eats away at leaves as a caterpillar, and it walks around on those, I don't know, like 12 or 15, little things that they walk around on. But when it's time for them to transform from the caterpillar, from the person that you know yourself to be, into something greater that I believe God has already invested within you. Like the caterpillar didn't know that it came on, well, perhaps it does. It has a divine intelligence that it didn't just come here to be a caterpillar. It came here to be a butterfly. And the chrysalis experience is that same experience that I experienced, that I mentioned earlier, that 24 to 48 hours, that feeling, that tumultuousness that I feel in my stomach, where my emotions and my feelings and my thoughts are turned upside down. So too does the caterpillar in the beginning processes in transforming into a butterfly, it turns itself upside down, hangs from a twig or a leaf or a branch or something like that. And while it's turned upside down, it begins to spin silk around itself and creating a cocoon. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm out of time. But let me just say that when it spins itself in its cocoon and the transformation takes place inside of this container, the container is your body. And we've been talking about the earth suit and the emotional body and the mental body. And the content inside of that chrysalis experience, that tumultuousness that I feel as I am on the journey of metamorphosis, and again, you will see me morph right before your eyes, is that inside of that chrysalis experience or that cocoon, the caterpillar then must digest itself. Oh my God, this is so exciting. But you know what? I think I'm going to just pick up the last part of this story. Just know that the caterpillar must let go of those things, those physical forms that allowed it to be the caterpillar, to actually morph into a butterfly. And instead of having little legs, it then must yield and allow and accept the wings to develop. It must then accept eyes and then that little torso that the butterfly has. So today I'm just sharing my personal experience of I am doing the book. I had to become the book to write the book. But I want to encourage you to once again share and like this video, because you never know what your friends or your family or anybody for that matter, what humanity is going through. You know, our physical conditions have an impact on our body. So I want to again thank you guys for joining me today on Lose the Weight Wednesday. I'm here every Wednesday. So I encourage you again to tune in at 7 a.m. to 7:15 Eastern Standard Time. And again, invite and share and like this video. Until then, namaste.